exactly 50 minutes on top of the hour 1 p.m. Thank you so much for choosing and making Swechotv to be your favorite source of news. My name is CHACHA Tobias. Welcome to Swechotv 1 p.m. news bulletins. But before the news in details, the following other news highlights. Candidates who sat the KCSE examination last year can now find out the courses and institutions where they have been placed for higher and tertiary education following the release of placement result by the Kenya Universities and College Central Placement Services (CUPS). Out of the 980,000 candidates who sat the examination, 293,869 qualified for placement. Of these, 202,133,000 have been placed in degree level 6, diploma level 5, craft, certificate and level 4 arts and certificate program across universities, TVETs and other tertiary institutions. CUPS says nearly 9,000 students who qualified for degree programs opted to pursue courses in TVET and other tertiary institutions instead.
1% of the students who did KCSE. So if you do the maths, you get to around 51,000 students. But remember, the CS gave a directive that we follow up. So we will find some of them went straight as Module 2 students in the public universities. Some went straight to private universities. Some are waiting for KMTC. We have KMTC coming up, September KMTC.
I've requested CUPS to come up with a study program to track and find out where these students are. But if there are those who missed the opportunity to apply for any other reason, we are going to give them a chance to reapply. And we have directed the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service to immediately devise a mechanism to allow late applications for placement.
Find about 40% of the students want to do education. And like you have said, you have heard from TSC, it is good to know that employment opportunities are not only in Kenya, because our work is also to look at, to guide them along the available job of pharmacy, dentistry, nursing, attract a lot of students. But like I also presented, the performance of the science subjects also limit the number of students who can take some of these programs.
And moving on, President William Ruto has signed the Sovereign Wealth Fund Act 2026 into law, creating a framework to manage revenues from minerals, petroleum resources and public investments while preserving part of the country's wealth for the future generations. The president said the new law marks a major step in safeguarding Kenya's natural resources and ensuring the benefits are shared by both present and future generations. Leaders who attended the signing ceremony rallied behind the initiatives, urging President Ruto to ignore his critics and stay the course of his development agenda.
Today, we enshrine in law the institution that will ensure that the prosperity of those assets we create endures for generations. We will also be investing profits that come from investment in our very critical infrastructure like Jomo Kenyatta in the Sovereign Wealth Fund.
You want to transform a country or any system, you must disrupt it. So what we are seeing is actually disruption that is positive and progressive.
House of Parliament should consider an amendment to enable any Kenyan or even any foreigner who loves Kenya of goodwill to donate into this fund.
Try to move, but private interests always come in to put pressure on government not to move. There is too much democracy. There should be some little benevolent dictatorship so that some things can move.
And moving on, a family in Nairobi's Kawangware Estate is mourning the death of a 26-year-old father of two who was allegedly fatally assaulted by club attendants over disputed Kenya shilling 1,000 bills. Detectives in Dagoretti have arrested 3 suspects, including a bartender and a security officer, as part of an ongoing murder investigation.
wakati walikuja kumuitisha bill, aliwaambia nitalipa. Wakamwambia bill lazima ulipe. Hawa watatu, wanaume wawili, bouncer, cleaner na mwanamke alikuwa anauza hapa, ndio walianza kumpiga na miti ya jembe na nyagunyo. Wakampiga hapa chini mpaka wakamfikisha pale. Wakati waliona hawezi tembea, hawezi simama, wakambeba, wakaenda wakamtupa huko hospitali. Hapo hospitali ndiye alikaa, mwisho akakufa. Hata postmortem ilifanywa, ikaonyesha ni excessive internal bleeding. Unfortunately, hata nikishare na nyinyi hizi picha mtaona, it's worrying.
Nangu ndio kijana wangu watatu, ameoa, ako na watoto wawili. Sasa alitoka kwake hapa kitu kama saa 10 hivi ya jioni hivi, kuenda kuwatch mpira huko kwa kilabu mahali huwa wanahudhuria kila siku.
Mmoja kilina anaitwa Elemat. Nikamuuliza, kwani yule mtu alikuwa hapa jana? Kwani mlimchapa kiasi gani? Kwani mlimchapa kwa nini na mlimchapa kiasi gani? Hakuna mtu aliniongea.
And to our last bulletin this afternoon, a family in Narumoru, Nyeri County, is mourning the death of their 2-year 9-month-old son, Carlos Brown, who died while at school. The management of Shalom Schools, where the child was studying, says he was run over as the driver was reversing the school bus. However, the family says the school's account of events contradicts the police report and is demanding a thorough investigations and accountability from the institution.
Iwa na administration ni mwalimu tu kwa hiyo shule. Nije na Lumoro ati mtoto wangu ako na emergency. Sasa nauliza emergency gani? Nikauliza umepigia mama? Wewe baba Carlos kuja.
Venye baba Carlos alinipigia simu, nikapigia mwalimu anaitwa Mrs. Gashie, anafunza huku. Akaniambia mtoto wako amepata emergency kidogo, tupatane na Rumoru level 4. Tukakaa hapo almost 30 minutes, hakuna mtu atuongelesha, lakini tulipata gari ya shule hapo na mwanaume alikuwa hapo mwenye tulikuwa tuna suspect maybe ni mwalimu huku kundi alikuwa na hiyo gari.
Nimekuta mtoto wangu akiwa maiti na ako na injury huku. Nikauliza mtoto wangu alifanya nini? Already amekufa. Kuna mtu ananijibu.
Police station iko hapo tu karibu. Nikauza huyo officer nilipata hapo. The information we gathered is mtoto venye alishuka kwa gari, alienda mbele ya gari akagongwa na mguu ya mbele ya basi.
1:20 tulipatwa na habari za tanzia kwamba baada ya watoto kutoka nyumbani kufika hapa shuleni, na wakatoka kwenye basi, mtoto mmoja akarudi nyuma ya basi, naye driver hakuwa anamuona, akirudi nyuma akamgonga.
Fika huku hakuna mtu anatufungulia geti, hakuna mtu anatuongelesha, tuko hapa tuko stranded, hatujui nini ilihapenia mtoto wangu. So I just want justice for baby Carlos.
Mimi niko na katoto kamoja tu. Ako sina. Mimi hata sijui ama naenda. Juu nilikuwa nagoja mtoto wangu jioni. Nitagoja nani?
And that news brings us to the end of our broadcast this afternoon. Thank you so much for staying tuned from the beginning of this broadcast to the end. I've been your host, CHACHA TOBIAS. Make sure that for those news in details, you follow us in all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram at Swechotv Kenya. And I can already see Mr. Denish Odera. It's looking sporty in the news. Don't go far away because we are coming back with sport news right after this. Good afternoon.